I'm really trying hard to be unbiased when it comes to watching a TV show like Superman and Lois. And that's why I created this YouTube channel, was to come at it from the perspective of, obviously, number one, I'm a huge Superman fan, but also to be able to approach it from the perspective of, is this the direction that I want the TV series to go in? Does it feel right? All this kind of stuff. And obviously, I'm not a writer. I've never written a TV show or anything like that. But this last episode has kind of stuck with me a bit. The first one, pilot, great, phenomenal. I think I gave it like 7.5, 8.5, and I bumped it up a bit. Next one, Heritage, great. You know, we see Jordan goes to the Fortress of Solitude. We get introduced to holograms. Fantastic. We learn a little bit more about Captain Lex and his vendetta towards Superman, because at the end of the show we see Superman lasering a bunch of soldiers. And then perks of a wallflower, of not being a wallflower. We see Jordan join the football team. That was a bit of a shocker. I'm like, oh man, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. They were all interesting. This one was pretty good because I like the idea of introducing Kilgrave. I thought that was cool. I don't know a lot about that character other than he makes weapons for other bad guys and that kind of stuff. And I guess he looks like the cartoon or the comic book character. But I'm a little bit concerned about the Smallville-ish feeling when they use the meta-human kind of angle with Tag, I think was one of the players' names, one of the kids. He had a broken arm, all of a sudden he's vibrating and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, was he infected by the kryptonite like Smallville? Like, are we going to have a town that gets infected by kryptonite and all of a sudden we're going to have superhero beings from each townsperson? And I thought, it's approaching too much like Smallville. It's approaching it. If they take it in another direction, it'd be great. And then you have Morgan Edge, where he's building a bit of I guess a superhuman or Superman army type with Leslie Lar, because she is like a Kryptonian or something. At least she was in the comics. She was a Kryptonian that was from the city of Kandor, which was, I think, Brainiac shrunk the city down and put it in a bottle to preserve it, I guess. And somehow Leslie Lar escaped from there, and so did Kara. But Leslie Lar is a Kryptonian, according to the comics anyway. And she actually replaces Supergirl and pretends that she's Supergirl. So that's an interesting character. Now, if they're mixing this X-Kryptonite, and I never heard of X-Kryptonite before this episode, but if they're going to start mixing X-Kryptonite into people's coffee and that kind of stuff, and then we're going to get these super villains, I'm not sure that's what I signed up for with this TV series. All over Captain Lex, I think that's a great angle, and it looks like he's coming back for the next episode, which is cool. But then they're taking a 7-week break, probably to cut the rest of the shows and make sure they're all cool, because I think with COVID and everything, it kind of messed up the schedule. But what I'm looking for in a TV series is, I want to see Superman kick some ass with some bad guys, some legitimate bad guys. I don't want teenagers that are mixing kryptonite, like with some kind of kryptonite meth labs, and they're creating cocktails and all this kind of stuff, and they're getting superpowers and all this kind of stuff. I don't want to see Superman battling all that kind of stuff. I want to see him fighting like, who's a couple of maybe it's Brainiac, maybe it's Bizarro would be a great character to somehow introduce. That'd be pretty cool. Mixoplex, it's not really a good character, but interesting. So I don't know. They got I'm a little bit nervous. Just a little bit nervous. Is it the weakest show of all of them? Oh, man. It's a tough one. I'm going to say slightly. Slightly. Still good. I'll watch it again sometime. Not like the pilot. Pilot I watched 4 times. Heritage I watched 3 times. And then Wallflower I watched twice. So now I'm watching this one once. So kind of shows you maybe there's a little bit, maybe it's a good time to have a break, because then we could talk about all the stuff that's going on. I get nervous because it's different directors, different writing, and all this kind of stuff. And I really don't want this show to fail, because I really love the idea of Superman and Lois. They're my favorite characters in the comics, all this kind of stuff. But, excuse me, I'm just being honest. I'm a little nervous right now about the series. I don't want it to go all flashy or something, or arrowy, where it gets a little, they get side railed a bit. What are your thoughts? Feel free to comment below, subscribe to this channel, and like this video if you like this kind of content of me being real and authentic when it comes to Superman. See you in another video. Bye for now.